for Alloa Athletic, their manager Paul Hartley joins us on the line after a sensational scoreline yesterday, 8-1 against Elgin City. Congratulations, first of all, Paul.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks.
You'll be absolutely thrilled and wonderful to just clinch it with a performance like that yesterday.
Oh, I couldn't see that coming, Richard. No, we're delighted to get the title in the bag, but the way that they performed yesterday, I know they were down to 10 men, but it could have been more than 8 goals. Or just terrific yesterday. It was just a fitting way to win the title.
Yeah, just a couple at half-time. I suppose there is that freedom, isn't it, that kind of almost the players begin to relax when they know the game, first and foremost, is done. I don't know if you were getting word through to them about what was happening to Stranraer at Clyde?
Yeah, I did get word. My fitness coach and my assistant manager were whispering in my ear that Clyde had equalised and then they were 2-1 up. But I still wasn't sure when our game had finished how the Clyde and Stranraer game had ended up. But when we heard the result, then it was fantastic just to see the players, their faces, and because it doesn't happen a lot. You don't win titles all the time. No. And to see some of these guys, they've been playing for 15, 16 years, some of them, and they've never won a medal. So I was just delighted for them.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And actually, I was just thinking back at the start of the season. It wasn't easy for you at the start, was it? You went out of both the cup competitions in the first couple of matches, and I think, was it 1 win in the first 3 or 4 games in the leagues? It was hard going for you as you got your feet under the table there.
It was, Richard, and when I took the job in May, we'd no signed players. We'd actually one signed player, sorry, but he'd done his cruciate. So we've actually built a squad, 21 players that were signed, and we had to get them sort of signed before the start of the season. And you're right, we went out to 2 cup competitions, but I wasn't bothered about that. No. And I said that to the players, I said, look, no disrespect, we're not going to win the Scottish Cup or the League Cup. Our main aim was to try and win the league and get back and get promotion. And the players took that on board. They've been absolutely terrific. They're a joy to work with. It has been hard, but it's been so enjoyable. And you get your rewards. The harder you work, then the bigger the rewards you get.
What must have been really satisfying for you? You had that great long unbeaten spell, didn't you? Then you had the 2 defeats on the bounce, and maybe you begin to wonder, and you've reeled off 7 straight victories since then, haven't you?
Yeah, we went 15 games unbeaten, and then we had two bad results. And then I think sometimes you start to question yourself. Yeah. But no, the players have been absolutely brilliant. They've won 7 on the bounce. We've had 4 defeats in 32 games this year. When Livingston won the title in 2010 in the 3rd division, they were full time. They finished up with 72 points to win. That was the league total. You get 72 points just now, and we've still got 4 games left. Yeah,
and even more remarkable, because for a large chunk of that season it was very, very competitive, that 3rd division. That run, that big long run you mentioned earlier, that was what began to open the gap, I suppose. But for a long time it was by no means certain that, who was going to come out on top in that division? No,
you're right, there was 3 or 4 teams that were going for the title. And you're right, we put that run together. But I look back in the end of November, we were up at Montrose and we drew 1 each, and I think if Annan had won, they would have went 8 points clear of us. So it just shows you the turnaround that we've had this season. But I've got to give credit to the players. They've been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, there'll be names there, obviously, that people will recognise. Robbie Winters, very much towards the end of his career. But Stephen May is probably the one who's made most headlines as a player. Right at the start of his career, you've got him out on loan from St Johnstone. What a contribution from him.
Well, he's been absolutely terrific. What an attitude the kid's got. 19 years of age. You think he's coming to a Premier League club and coming to 3rd division. And sometimes it can work either way. You get a loan signing, it might not work for you, but he's been absolutely brilliant. He scored 17 goals in 17 games. And the bottom line is, Richard, he's too good for the 3rd division, but we're just thankful that we've got him.
Yeah, and actually, thinking back, Kenny Miller did that. Kenny had a spell at that he went to, and other players have done it down the divisions, and it tells you an awful lot. You see someone that you anticipate making a real impact back in the SPL next season then?
Yeah, he's got everything. Honestly, he's 19. He came into the St Johnstone team at 17, 18. He had a good spell, and then he had a wee bit of loss of form and confidence, and spoke to Steve Lomas and said, look, take him out, and just gives him a wee bit of confidence again, and he's been absolutely terrific. I think he can go into bigger and better things. I think that the kid's got everything. What I do like about him, Richard, he works his socks off every single week in every training session for me.
Yeah, you haven't been able to convince Steve Lomas that a season in the 2nd division would be a good idea for Stephen May next season, have you?
I would love to, but I'm not sure. I think it'll just depend what happens with Stevie when he gets back and St Johnson's situation. But we're just thankful we've got him just now.
And I mean, I saw a lot of the online on Twitter and the various other things, and lots of the Alloa fans just absolutely overjoyed. I mean, it's a great moment for the community as well, isn't it? A moment like this for the club.
It's great, Richard, because they had the disappointment of getting relegated last year. And you look at it a year down the line and we're back up. But I've got to give my chairman credit for appointing me, because he took a bit of a risk. A rookie manager, with no managerial experience, had got relegated to the third division, but he took a bit of a gamble on us. And then, thankfully it's sort of paid off. But I've got to give him a lot of praise because he took a lot of stick last year.
I remember talking to you at the start of the season, you signed as player manager, didn't you?
Yeah.
How many games did you play?
None so far.
Did you feel your experience might be vital at the tail end of the campaign then?
I maybe just pull the boots on for the last game. How does that sound?
That sounds to me like that would be farewell then, would it?
No, I wouldn't.
I mean as a player.
I wouldn't do that to the players. I wouldn't do that to the players. They've been terrific all season, and I wouldn't want to take the limelight away from them. I've enjoyed it. I think it was a difficult one being a player manager. I've just stuck to being in the dugout instead of being on the park. It's too difficult.
I mean, lots of people immediately saying, look, there's Paul Hartley's gone out there, he's done a great job at Alloa, and you inevitably, I guess, will start to be linked to other jobs perhaps higher up the chain. In terms of starting off as a manager, though, do you believe this has been the perfect platform for you to begin to learn the job?
Great experience for me, Richard. You get down to the third division, you're part-time, you're working with part-time players, you've got to do a lot of the stuff yourself, it's got to be hands-on. We've not got the people behind the scenes that we can afford to go and pay people things, so we've got to do a lot of it on our own, and it's a great grounding for me. I love the job, I love working with the players, dealing with your directors, going to watch the opposition. We've got to do all that, we've got to go away to Elgins and midweeks, Tuesday nights, but that's part of the job, it's a learning curve.
And are you the sort of guy who kind of has planned this out in your head, where you will be in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, or is it very much a case?
No.
Just take it as it comes.
You just take it, hopefully a season at a time, but you can never tell what can happen in football. One month you have the flavour of the month, and then the next you're not if you get bad results. So I think you've got to enjoy it whilst you can. I think enjoy this experience, this time. We've won the league, we'll enjoy the next couple of weeks, and then we plan for next season.
Well, congratulations. I mean, a fantastic effort, and we look forward to hearing reports of your 92nd appearance in the final game of the season as a last-minute substitute. That'll be it then, will it?
We'll see, Richard. I don't know.
Well done, Paul, to you and everybody at the club. It's been a great campaign for you. Many congratulations indeed.
Thanks, Richard.
Paul Hartley, what a wonderful job they've done. They have tied up that third division title, heading back to the second division for next season. So that was the action yesterday in the third division, or the main action at least, an 8-1 win against Elgin. There was plenty of action to